Hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. This is the third flight on the A-10 Thunderbolt from FMS version 2, twin 70 millimeter. I'm running a 4300 roaring top. Usually I run a 5000. I'm running a 4300 because that's the last 6-cell battery I've got with me today. And also I've cut the timer down to 3 minutes and 10 seconds instead of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Smaller battery, and I'm running ordnance. So I kind of cut it a little bit shorter. But this will be the first time flying her with the ordnance. So we'll see how she does.
Landing flaps.
All right. Takeoff flaps. Wind has started to kick up. I got a little bit of a cross breeze directly across from the south, but it's not that strong, so we'll deal with it. All right, motor on. Takeoff flaps. Right, left, up, down, right, left. Okay.
Stabilize mode. Experienced mode. AS3.
AS3X, or optimized mode. That's what I want. All right. Wind is kind of out of the southwest, so we'll go down here to the other end, make our approach from down there. Okay. Trying to get this plane to turn. All right, there we go. Let me get behind my wonderful camera, Precious. Okay. And where she's at right now is where I'm going to be trying to land at. All right, here we go.
3 minutes. Gear up. Flaps up.
I gotta tell you, I really don't notice all that much difference with the ordnance on. Oh, maybe a little bit.
Landing flaps. Gear down. Time remaining 2 minutes.
The grass is real wet and real thick right now, so I'm trying not to mess too much in the grass. Gonna have to take off from that direction there.
Takeoff flaps.
Takeoff flaps are in.
Gear up. Flaps up.
Bring her by low and slow. Flaps are not in though. Pa-dow, 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 pa-dow. That's the kid in me.
Gear down. Landing flaps. Time remaining 1 minute. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds.
Is that not a beautiful bird? I'll be honest, folks, I honestly couldn't tell much difference in how she flew
Flaps up.
with the ordnance on versus off. She seems to fly just fine. I just need something y'all may not know about me, and I've mentioned it before. I do have a problem with vision as far as depth perception. As I've lost planes in those electrical cords. A lot of us do. And so we're not really suited for the hobby, but I don't let that stop me. And so sometimes trying to figure out where I am coming in relation to either end of the runway, I kind of misjudge. And, you know, ideally, you should be touching down in the first eighth of the runway on either side, depending on your approach. And that way you got almost the entire runway to slow down. If this plane had thrust reverse, which is a gripe I have, a lot of these newer planes coming out, a lot of them are having thrust reverse. And when you spend this much money for a plane, I think it should have thrust reverse. Now, Hobby Zone, you sent me out this plane, you want me to review it, and you know, you tell me honest reviews, pick it apart, good things and bad. Good things about this plane: she looks great, she flies great, flight and performance are right with the looks, the assembly, the quality of the parts, everything there, she checks all the boxes as far as that goes. Negatives: I think there should be a light on top, and I don't think there's a light on the belly. I'd like to have a light on the belly. Nav lights back here, something in the rear to see it when it goes away from me. She needs thrust reverse. Put better glue in the retracts. Off camera, when I was doing some testing, on these promotional planes, folks, I ain't gonna lie to you, the maidens are always gonna be true maidens, okay? But I may fly it a few times after that before I give you a secondary flight and a tertiary flight on camera. And in one of my secondary testing flights, landing just like this, I hit that grass so many times, and eventually the one retract, the glue let go. But I looked in there wasn't enough glue holding that retract in, okay? You can have a $1,000 turbine and doesn't have enough structure around the retract, or you can have a $150 Dynam plane and the retracts work forever. It's a hit and miss. Don't think, well, that's a lousy plane. Or an FMS puts out a great product, they really do, but it's put together by humans, okay? It's not computerized, put together by humans, so you need to check everything, and that's your responsibility as an owner. You know, once you've got it, you put it together and you've flown it, you need to do the maintenance, you need to check these things. Now sometimes it's a clear defect, and now you and the manufacturer has a beef, you need to work them out. Hobby Zone will work with you, you know, but you've got to do your part too. It is a flying machine. There's so many variables that go into this hobby that, you know, they just can't account for everything that you're doing at the field that you think is right that may not actually be right. So, and I'm preaching to myself too. I don't know how many times I've argued with manufacturers saying, hey, you need to fix this. There was nothing wrong with it. Here's what you did. Oh, duh, you know. So that's one of those things. But they really need to do a little more fit and finish with some of the gluing. The paint is a good quality paint as far as it looks, but it easily chips up around the canopy and other areas, like even on this little missile here, that just come right out of the box and rubbed off on the foam, on the styrofoam inside the case, and little things like that. So you should put clear coat on the plane like I've done, and that puts a nice sealant protectant over the paint. You won't have that problem. So certain things you need to do as the owner, and but yeah, when you pay that kind of money, the main stuff needs to be perfect. You know, there are some things going to be wrong, but you know, there's a certain amount of give and take with a hobby. I love the plane. Other than the little nitpicky things, I really can't say anything bad about it. The assembly is perfect. The parts are quality. The ESCs were I calibrated them off camera. They are perfect. They're right on the money, and I've had no issue other than that retract during that testing. So, and I may be able to still put that video out. I might show that too. But, anyways, there you go. This is the first time I've ever flown her with ordnance. Officially, it's the third flight. Technically, it would be the fourth or fifth flight because I've had her flying a few times off camera. But for my channel, the maiden is always the true maiden. That's the first time I put her in the air. I always do that, and I will tell you that. The other flights may be after testing. So I'm just trying to be as honest and straightforward about what I do to present this channel to you, because it's important to me for me to have, you know, transparency in what I do, okay? Because if you say, I'm buying this through Fat Guy's link, then that's my reputation on the line. You know, so if I'm untruthful with you, then what good is my integrity? What good is my sell? You know, and I'm cheating you and I'm cheating myself if I'm not truthful, okay? It's a great plane. Does have a few minor problems. Not enough to put me off the plane though. Would I buy it again? Would I pay $650 for it? Yes, I would. Okay, yes, I would. She looks awesome. She really does. Folks, there'll be a link for the purchase. The battery on the plane. Okay, yeah, my wonderful battery, my lady saying, my camera lady said, don't forget to check the battery. I don't put my butt, that's one thing, I keep putting my butt in the camera. So I don't want to do it. Oh, one thing I did that zip tie. If you look at that little pigtail hanging out there, that does not come with the plane. I poked a hole through the top of the canopy and put a zip tie through there and tied it off at the bottom, and that way I can just grab it and it looks like an antenna. It's just a cheap little mod. It keeps your fingers off the paint. All right. Running a 7-channel Lemon RX Gen 2, not the Gen 1, the Gen 2. Okay. Get the battery out here. Y'all saw in the build video and some of the other videos on this plane where I keep my batteries. Well, this is a 4300, slightly smaller battery, so I put her a little further forward because it's a lighter battery. 33%, so that's perfect. Another gripe about this plane, but it's the same gripe for almost all these EDFs. Look what it does whenever you don't have a battery in it. It goes back on its tail. And that's just because of weight. But a lot of planes, trying to pick this thing up, a lot of planes nowadays have plastic right here. But this one doesn't. This is just regular compressible foam, and it's touching on the end of the rudders on that hinge and right here. That's not good. This should be a hard plastic molded in on both ends of these rudders. Rudders should be reinforced, and that should be hard plastic right there because that's what's touching the ground, okay? And over time. I didn't mention though, in the pinch hinges on the rudders, and hard to tell. Looks like mechanical hinges on the flaps, the ailerons, and the elevator, but you do have a pinch hinge with laminate reinforcement on the rudders. Should be mechanical hinges on the rudders, not hinges. But hey, enough nitpicking. Y'all buy the plane from me, use my link in that coupon field on your basket, put in all caps FGFRC. That code again, FGFRC, and you can take $10 off the price. I mean, I know it's $649, but $10 is $10, helps me out. You get a great plane and a little bit of money savings. You know, put it towards a battery. Y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And thank you for putting up with my craziness. If I leave stuff out, hopefully I'll get it the next time. Put it in the comments. And God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and then A-10 Thunderbolts. Bye-bye.